Take the critics and your fear. There's no easy way to hear. And all the memories you love to bring, with all the things that you hate to scream. So tell me, hollow on the inside, there's no trying to hide from this monster inside me. So if you try to criticize me,
with the first pick in the second round, pick number 33. This is a pick that we talked about quite a bit, and Derek, I did not see this coming, and I bet you feel the same way. Browns ended up taking Carson Schwesinger, linebacker out of UCLA. That's going to be fun to say for the next for the next several years, hopefully. Derek, give me your thoughts on Carson Schwesinger.
Yeah, not too happy in the moment with the pick. I think Carson is interesting because more of what it means versus actually what he is. Tristan drafting an off-ball linebacker at 33 when there was elite talent on the board tells me that they know something about JOK. And that is very concerning. That is very, very concerning. JOK is one of my favorite players on this team. I think he's the most overlooked and underrated player on this football team. And with his career in question, the fact that the Browns would take Carson Schwesinger here at 33 was a little bit alarming. And not to hate on the kid, but if it were me, Tristan, if it were me, I would have taken a quarterback.
You would have taken,
here.
Yeah, we know who you would have taken.
But I kind of figured that they weren't going to go that way. So I was thinking in my head, okay, you had the worst offense in the NFL last year, historically bad. We need weapons. Well, boy, there's a elite receiver right on the board waiting for you that would fit in this scheme. In Luther Burden, and they passed on him to take Carson here. And listen, I like him. I do. I really do. He's fast. He's slippery. Good in coverage. Gets to the quarterback. Good lateral speed. He plays a lot like JOK. Now, I do think he needs some work. He needs to put on some size for sure. He's 6'2", 225. I think for a linebacker, that's okay, but I want to see him more at that 235, 240 range. Maybe not that much, but just put on some more muscle, man. You need to put on some more weight, because that's how you have the JOK situations happen, when you have a Derrick Henry running downhill at you. So I like the player. I think he could very well come in and start day one. Mason Graham's definitely a starter day one, but I think Carson Schwesinger could also come in and possibly start, especially given the Devin Bush situation, which ironically was in Pittsburgh when I was there. That was kind of funny on the drive home. But, it's not what I would have done with the pick, Tristan, but ultimately I think it was more of we have a big problems and a big hole in our hands in the middle of this defense. Let's take a guy that we love that can fill the role that we are going to need. And I hope that he turns out to be an excellent linebacker. This franchise doesn't put a whole lot of emphasis on linebackers. So to take a guy like this at 33, boy, what a statement.
Yeah, so before I comment on the pick of Carson Schwesinger, there was something very, very important that I think you mentioned. You had mentioned in particular that our offense was the worst in the league last year, and we needed to rejuvenate it. We needed to take some players that were going to improve the offense. And I just want to address that first. Personally, that is something I completely disagree with. It's not that those facts aren't relevant. It's you shouldn't be entering the draft to look and fix your problems. The draft needs to be where you go and you take players that you think fit with your scheme and make you better. Or I shouldn't say that necessarily, but have the potential to be great players. It shouldn't be, that free agency is what the patchwork is for. And the draft is what builds sustainability. And something I will say about Luther Burden. Luther Burden does have a very big personality. He is somebody that is not shy at all. He's somebody that on the football field loves to get in the faces of other guys, loves to celebrate. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's times where he's drawing penalties. There's times where, not really locked into the game in terms of what's physically happening on the football field. But when he's locked in.
It's worked out great for Pittsburgh. They have a Hall of Fame receiver there in Georgia. Oh, wait, he's in Dallas. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, so the other thing I'll mention as well is I can't remember exactly when it was said, but Mary Kay, I believe, came out with a report saying that the Browns are now going to start truly valuing personality behind the players that they bring in as well. Obviously, we know about the quarterback. We know about some other moves that we've made that that involve players with questionable histories. But Mary Kay came out and said that the Browns are now going to actually really crack down on making sure that they have good people who share the similar mindset coming into the building. And for me, I think that took Luther Burden off their board. I'll be honest. I think that took him off their board. So if it didn't, I'll be honest, Derek, I don't see why they didn't pick him, because he is a very talented receiver. So, but Carson Schwesinger, in terms of the prospect himself, haven't had a chance to watch his tape extremely close. Just kind of been small snippets of him. Minor evaluation. He looks to be a player that will fit the scheme, has a lot of potential within our scheme. And Derek, do you know who the last linebacker we took in the second round was?
Was it Schobert, Kirksey?
No. I can't believe you don't know this.
Linebacker in the second. It was JOK.
JOK.
We traded up.
Yes.
For some reason I was thinking we took him in the first, but no, that's right. He slipped.
No, he was in. It was reported that he was in contention to be picked in the first round, but they ultimately decided on Greg Newsome. I think that this is a player that they view as somebody who has a high ceiling, similar to JOK when he was taken. I'm intrigued to learn a bit more about him and to learn exactly what role he's going to play in our system. But I'm excited for him. I think that whenever we're taking a linebacker this high with the analytics group that we have, it must mean that they think he's going to be special. So we'll see. We'll hope. It's interesting. In terms of him replacing JOK, I don't necessarily agree with that. And here's why. JOK, so he played multiple different roles in the linebacking corps over his time as a Brown. Towards the end of last year, we really started to see him as our Mike linebacker. But he was for the longest time our Will. So I think that they just view it as a situation where JOK, certainly we're hoping and praying for his health, and hoping he'll be all right. Neck injuries are super, super scary. But JOK is capable of playing both positions at a very high level. So why not just take a guy that we're really high on? So I that's how I took it. So I don't think that this is a pick that, it means that JOK is his playing days are over. I don't think that's necessarily the case, Derek. But we'll see how this unfolds, but I'm excited. I'm excited about Carson Schwesinger.
Yeah.
And I'm also excited to eventually get comfortable saying that last name. Holy my God.
Yeah, I really hope JOK is not done, because I think, Tristan, it'll be one of the biggest what ifs in Cleveland Brown history. We talk about what if Josh Gordon wasn't a pothead, what if certain things went other ways, what if Julio Jones went to the Browns, all the different what ifs throughout the history of the Browns. I think JOK would be one of those, because of the level that we saw him playing on the field versus, who knows where he'll be at now. It's tragic. It happened with Ryan Shazier. It's happened with a lot of other NFL players, but it is what it is. We'll have to just wait and see.